day 1,103 of the Trump administration. That puts us 281 days out from the 2020 presidential election. Trump's defense team has wrapped up its second day of presenting oral arguments against his removal from office. During long stretches of today, you'd be forgiven if you tuned in and thought you may have stumbled upon the impeachment of Hunter Biden. He and his father were major topics of today's presentations. More on that in a moment. The day was overshadowed by the new and explosive revelations from a forthcoming book by Trump ex-National Security Advisor John Bolton, who has now blown a hole in Trump's defense in real time. In keeping with the required number of daily mentions of Hamilton during impeachment season, the book is appropriately titled The Room Where It Happened. And as the New York Times' Maggie Haberman and Mike Schmidt report, in the book, John Bolton says Trump told him the freeze on nearly $400 million in congressionally approved aid for Ukraine was indeed tied to the request for investigations into former Vice President Biden and his son Hunter. Here is what Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz, a member of the Trump legal team, said tonight about that.
If a president, any president, were to have done what the Times reported about the content of the Bolton manuscript, that would not constitute an impeachable offense. Let me repeat, nothing in the Bolton revelations, even if true, would rise to the level of an abuse of power or an impeachable offense.
His, right there, was the only mention today of Bolton's allegations during the president's team's opening statements. And tonight, Times correspondents Haberman and Schmidt are back up with new reporting from the same book. They say Bolton also writes he told Attorney General William Barr last year he was concerned that Trump was granting favors to autocrats like the leaders of Turkey and China. Trump has indicated he would block Bolton from testifying at the Senate trial if subpoenaed. Here's how he reacted today when asked about Bolton's allegations concerning Ukraine.
What's your response to the Bolton manuscript, and does this increase the chances he can be called to testify?
Well, I can tell you nothing was ever said to John Bolton, but I have not seen a manuscript.
What about the allegations? False.
And of course, on a normal day, we would talk about Trump's house guest today, Bibi Netanyahu. The National Security Council says it wasn't them. They say they never passed the book along to any unauthorized personnel. Tonight, NBC News correspondent Carol Lee is reporting that a single copy of the book was delivered to the White House last month for that national security review. She reports Bolton's team says it appears copies were made and that Bolton does not plan to speak publicly about the Ukraine issues until questions about his potential testimony are resolved. Bolton's reported allegations about Trump and Ukraine have already roiled the impeachment trial, and for some senators, they bolster the case for calling witnesses.
With a story that came out yesterday, it's increasingly apparent that it would be important to hear from John Bolton. I think it's increasingly likely that other Republicans will join those of us who think we should hear from John Bolton.
Romney is one of 4 senators who've indicated they are open to hearing from witnesses. Today, another member of the Senate suggested that number could grow.
Will be 10 or more that will say we at least have to look at calling witnesses. Then we go and talk about each one individually. And I think you're going to see a number, perhaps double digits of Republicans are going to say, look, we can't defend this.
Interesting prediction by the independent senator from Maine, Angus King. Meantime, Robert Costa of the Washington Post, who joins us in just a moment, reporting tonight that Republican Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania is talking with his colleagues about a possible deal to call 2 witnesses to the impeachment trial, one from the Republican side and one for the Democrats.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.